4 attendees at the moment. So like we are expecting 100 more.
Oh, I see. I see. This is a
So,
prediction. Sounds
yeah,
like.
so keep the chat going, Matthew and Varga, Rajab. Hope
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying your name correct.
And Matthew, given that like you're doing the happy dance over there, we are really expecting the footage of that at some point. We need to like keep the energy flowing.
So this is also recording, right?
Yes, we're
Perfect.
recording that.
Very good. Yeah, more than 10, more than 100. Yeah, it's like a I do have to admit, I was told before that there was going to be more, so that was more of a joke of like, are there going to be more than 10 people today? We're expecting a lot of people. So welcome everyone. If you're joining a little bit earlier, then you can use the chat because there you can see who is also in. And share with others where you're calling from. I can start. I'm calling from Frankfurt, Germany. Kristen, you're calling from beautiful sunny California.
Not sunny right now, but yeah, normally sunny. I'm in Santa Cruz, which is coastal, and so we get something called June gloom, where it fog and then burns off at some point. So.
Yeah, I'm joining
Nice.
from for one sunny actually, Scotland, which is, even the weather is happy about this webinar happening, apparently so.
You stole my sun. But
Sorry.
you probably
Not
need it
sorry
more than I
though.
do. Yeah.
Right, and
Well,
Paul here with us.
so welcome everyone. Continue chatting, telling us where you're calling from. Would be really nice to hear where we are getting calls from. Sunny in Colorado. Colorado, I only think about like skiing in Colorado. I didn't know that there's also like summer there. Idaho. Okay, nice.
Hi.
So Dominic, where are you calling from? You're calling from Portugal or Belgium? Oh. Did you hear him?
Dominic, did you hear the question?
I'm calling in from Portugal. Yes, I heard the question.
Oh, okay.
We were wondering, like, because we are like always in a European mood to start it like with the Eurovision, talk about where we are calling from. Maybe we can give each other points. And Paul, you are like your name calling from
sunny Macclesfield in England. It's about
England.
25 degrees there.
Oh, meanwhile, we have
Nice.
people from Bulgaria, from Sofia, and Cape Cod. There you go.
Yeah. So we are, people are just joining. We're giving them a couple of minutes. We had a recording in registration for this webinar, but we are also recording it because people can also register and then they get the recording afterwards. So I think that we are really excited that people are excited to hear more. So we are just gonna give this a couple of more minutes, 1, 2, maybe start 3 over and continue to like tell everyone to tell.
Watch the
What?
participants tick up. It went from like 18 to 35 in one big boop. So
Yeah. And meanwhile, we're having people from all around the place. I see Montreal, Canada. I see Toronto. I see Montevideo, Uruguay as well. So we really have nice bunch of people here. Also Belgium, Germany, Georgia, Gamarjoba.
Nice. All right, the number is just going up. We have so much to talk about today, and I think the Q&A is also probably open. Maybe let's just double check that if there's if you like maybe Matthew, because I see that you were there. Maybe you can. Yes, perfect. Just double checking that it's working. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to answer this live. Thank you for testing that. Feel free to put in a question at any time. Also, you know, if you want to ask or in the chat, we are going to be trying to follow the chat as well. So we are going to hopefully have enough time to answer all of your questions. We prepared a little slideshow. So therefore, we are going to do the Q&A in the end. But if there is something that is coming up that we feel like that is maybe a good idea to answer, we are going to try to do that. Yeah, so I think we can just soon. I'm just going to see if I can maybe put the slideshow on. Is that, Kristen? I think that we are going to just be juggling this between us. We also have today the help of
Yeah,
Dominic,
we can Paul
Paul.
and Dominic. Yeah.
So let me just open up everything so I have it in front of me. So again, we are doing this also for the first time. So please give us feedback, or if you feel like that there's some information missing or something like that, just this is an open question. It's just us. So we can also ask the difficult questions. We can ask the easy questions, and let's just maybe start start thanking everyone for coming. Like I said, we had a record registration for a webinar. We had more than 100, and even like, you know, I think more than 120 people registering for this webinar. So we are really excited that people really are interested in knowing more what we are going to be doing. And what we are, of course, interested in is learning what you are doing in Drupal AI, or what you are interested in. So let's just dive into the slides. You all see the slides, I think. Continue, please, telling everyone where you're coming from. Today, we are here 4 people from the leadership team. So I am Buddy. I am from 1x Internet, and I am calling from Frankfurt, but I am Icelandic. So Kristen, over to you.
All right. Kristen, California, and not sunny at the moment. Off to Dominic.
Hi everyone, I'm Dominic. I'm calling from Portugal. I'm a Belgian, from the country of Drupal's origin, and yeah, it's sunny here in Portugal.
And Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul Johnson from the UK. Very excited to see you all today. Looking forward to hearing what Buddy's got to say about it.
Yeah, and then we have Lenny from the Drupal Association, who's
And I'm
helping
here.
us to organize everything. And where are you, Lenny?
I am in Scotland, but originally I'm from Ukraine, and yeah, very happy to be here and be of help to you guys.
Nice. All right, so we have a packed agenda. We're probably going to take 30 minutes or something just to go over the slides. Maybe we are going to do less, and then we are just very happy to take all of the questions and hopefully answer all of them. So today we are going to be going through the history of the initiative and overview. Then I'm gonna start with that, and Kristen is maybe gonna come and take a little bit over and talk about like how we are organized, who is involved, and how people can actually start joining. We are gonna talk a bit about the Drupal AI Maker program, where we have Dominic here. Paul has been leading the marketing side as well, so we are maybe gonna speaking a little bit about the marketing, of course, not alone, together with other people. So, and then most importantly, where can you actually find information and what is next? Because we are still just on the starting line, and there's a lot to do. So let's just dive in, if that's okay. We see that we have a lot of people attending, so let's start with the initiative history and overview. And we would like to start with this quote where Dries said that Drupal already has a strong AI foundation with many community-built modules. I think we have 291 last time we counted. And now we are channeling this creative energy into clear, coordinated product vision. And like many of you know, when ChatGPT came out, we already had a module that was connecting to that, I think 1 week or 1 month after everybody was able to use that. And so much has happened since then. And it's a little bit like the wild, wild west. Everybody is there, everybody's working on something. And we realized that we need to have a very strong foundation so everybody can work on the same, which brought us to DrupalCon Atlanta. Most of us, many of us, were in DrupalCon Atlanta, and some of us were doing talks about AI, and we were just chatting and hanging out in the contribution room. Where at some point on the last day, Dries came over and he said, "What if we just start organizing this a little bit more and try to make it even go more focused in some direction and just maybe do it faster of like the whole coordination." So we took the challenge. It was the people who are here and a few more, including of course Jamie from Freely Give, Christoph from 1X, and Frederick from Drop Solid. And we said like, okay, let's just start meeting and see what does that mean and why an initiative. We started to argue that actually, why an initiative? Why do you need an initiative? Well, if you have an initiative, there's just a little bit more formalization around the work we are doing. And on top of that, we can also get support from the Drupal Association, more official support, which is, for example, here having Lenny here to help us to organize webinars. And the communication channels through the Drupal.org website and so on. So we started to figure out that we do need an initiative. So this group of people just started to form as a group. And then many of us, not everyone, met in Dev Days in Belgium. And during that time, it was 5 days or 4 days, we actually started to draft up the first version of the Drupal AI strategy, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later. But that was the time where the first draft was created. We also met with the Drupal CMS team and other core contributors in AI, like Marcus and many others. And this was the time where we said, okay, let's go forward in the Drupal AI strategy. And we had the first version ready. And then for almost 2 months, we were just going back and forth in versions. There were back and forth in conversations. And then on top of that, how are we actually going to organize ourselves? Who can do what in our team? How can we activate the community? And that's everything that we're going to be telling you today. On June 9th, we had the announcement. And now, a couple of days later, we are here to kick this off a little bit, starting to we need your input to think about what we are going to be, or to tell us what you are going to be doing and how you can be active. So the initiative itself launched the strategy. It launched the team who was willing to invest their time, and even the companies who were supporting these people are even willing to put in money to help funding a delivery team. And why is that important? Because we need to have a dedicated people working on things, because otherwise we don't want them to be caught in project work in their companies. So we said we need to somehow be able to fund them fully. We worked on some tracks that we're going to be telling you about later. And like we said, we got $120,000, which are being now collected by the DA. And those companies who have committed to that will then discuss where we can allocate those resources or these funds. So if we dive a little bit into the strategy, which is then the first part, it was Dries tested it in Drupal Dev Days. So if you can go and look at the recording, you will see a recording for Drupal Dev Days where there was a Q&A with Dries, ask me anything. And the things that we have been talking about with the future of Drupal AI was he tested on a group of 200 people, 250, 300 people sitting there, of saying how can we focus on creating an open framework where we are innovating, but being under the responsibility of being guided by the human and not let AI guide us. And it seemed to resonate a lot with people. So we took that a little bit further. And if I go to the next slide, there are those 4 pillars of our strategy that I really encourage all of you to go on drupal.org/AI to read the strategy. But the focus was around AI-human collaboration. We can collaborate together. We do not want AI just to do everything for us on like automatically, and we don't have to look. We focus on trustworthy governance. We make sure that we allow companies who are using Drupal AI to be able to follow their guidelines for their brands. We want to be able to provide the good logging, testing, and much more. Then, of course, the open source flexibility. We don't have to tell, I think, this group here about that part. But we want to be flexible. We want to be, connect to any LLM, use it like you want to use it, and not just being stuck in a proprietary software where you have to use certain tools. And this all can only be done if we are using the community, and the community is the ones that you are the ones who are actually going to be building it. These 4 pillars are our focus. We just came from the AI Summit in London, where we put this on the wall. And we really encourage, if you are speaking about Drupal AI to your clients, to your peers, to others, then I would, take a look at those 4 pillars. And if that resonates also with you, then please help us to repeat that. And then the next thing that we did, and which was led by Frederick and Paul and Kristen, was to create this amazing landing pages. Paul, maybe you can tell us just shortly how many pages did we build, and how did that work go?
Yeah, there was quite a few of us collaborating to get it done in time. What we've done is we've launched just a few key pages. We're very honoured to have the AI in the platform in like one of the most important places on Drupal.org. And our intention is over the next coming weeks and months to build out detail over each one of these main topic areas. And the focus is actually on the end customer. So rather than helping the developer, which is more the role of some of the other teams, and it's pretty well established already. What I'm looking to do, and the team are looking to do, is to kind of tell the amazing story of how Drupal AI can help organizations out there and companies out there that want to adopt AI that is safe, as they can make their own choices, and also how it's already really well established, as Vadi's mentioned. We've got this 290 modules to 22 AI providers, and that's even in the first week we launched, I had to update the pages twice because we've got 2 new AI providers. So just goes to show how much velocity we've got in the project.
Nice. Yeah, so you said it very well, Paul, that we have this page, which is a little bit more focused on the one who's maybe from the outside coming in and trying to understand what Drupal has as capabilities in AI. And you spoke about the contributors to Drupal AI. Probably this here is more the site that you can find the information. There's documentation. There's a lot of there's issue queues, and very many people are active in this. So we are going to put in the links to all of this later. And I think Paul was referring to this photo here, that we already had created the photo, and then like 2 more modules were created, just that integrated to another provider. So that was pretty cool. I'm curious, like if like people here, feel free to put into the webinar chat how you are contributing to Drupal AI today. If you just want to like drop in if you're a maintainer of a module or if you're actively contributing. It would be really nice to see, what are you doing? And if you are currently not doing anything directly on Drupal.org, where is your interest, or is there anything that like you are thinking about building? Because that's what happens then. People start connecting, and you will see that other person is very interested in something that you are also doing. So please use the chat. Don't be shy. Let us know. Again, the Q&A is open if you wanna have any questions. And this photo here, I think Jamie would probably be the best one to speak to that. I don't know, Kristen, if you wanna take a shot on this one.
Yeah. So if you read the strategy, so one part of that was trying to define some, agents, which sounds very technical, but that would be for the end user. So in Drupal, we're very good at having terminology that's very technical and developer focused. So fortunately, we had people on the team who were trying to think of the end user in mind, and the marketer and the content manager and people like that who would be using AI and trying to actually use language that they would understand rather than the rest of us that build these things. So this was a way of kind of showcasing some of the things that we will be working on or have been working on or will continue to work on, some focus areas, and group them into different sections. So like for experience agents, being able to, work with forms or, have a very personalized experience. A big part is working with experience builders. So everyone knows that, there's a lot of buzz about experience builder coming out later this year. And how can people work with AI and experience builder to build very beautiful landing pages that aren't what Jamie calls AI slop. So that's a favorite term of his, and I like that term. So how can we actually make it so that, it looks good, but it's actually also good, like it has good accessibility and it, the markup's really nice and all that. It's using the right branding guidelines and, all of the, the usage patterns that we expect from our design system. So these are just some of the focus areas that we're working on. And we do have a roadmap that we are finalizing, and we're going to get it into a more public version that we should be rolling out here in the next couple weeks. And we will have a webinar specifically on the roadmap. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming up pretty soon. And then we can dive into more detail on some of these items. But this kind of gives you just a taste of the way we're thinking. We're trying to really think about the end user. What do they need? And then how do we make agents and AI tools that are able to support that?
Very good. That brings us, so that was a little bit the story of, what is in the strategy, what is the focus. Again, we see some questions coming in. It would be also great if you can use the Q&A to put the questions, because then we can just organize them a little bit better, but we will also try to use them here. So let's dive into the topic, how is this organized? And that will follow then of like how you can involve yourself. So Kristen, maybe you wanna
Sure.
talk a little bit about the team.
All right, so a strategic initiative normally has leads. So an example, Experience Builder is a strategic initiative, Drupal CMS. And so we have dedicated leads from a number of organizations, and that's Jamie, which anyone who's been in the AI space has seen. We got Batty here and Christoph, Dominic, and myself. And so that's sort of the high level, helping with the strategy, helping with, general organization, kind of initiative management and, the funding and all that stuff sort of at the high level. Then more kind of boots on the ground, more tactical. We have defined a delivery team, which is still being finalized of everyone involved. So some of us are taking some of the roles of the delivery team out of necessity right now, and that Jamie and I are helping a lot with project management and organizing, trying to organize all the issues and figure out how to, get people the right information and all that. We have Marcus as the technical lead. Anyone that's in the AI space will know Marcus is Mr. AI along with Jamie, but is, just generating a lot of great stuff in that space and one of the main maintainers of the core AI module. So a couple that are more being discussed is we would like to have a dedicated UX lead. We do have UX folks that have been helping out in the AI space. So we're organizing more of a UX team, and then we're trying to figure out who would kind of take on that lead role. At the moment, that's been driven primarily by Jamie in terms of UX strategy. And then on the experience builder AI side, that's been with Lori and Renee on the Acquia team. And then for release management, we are talking with someone who we're hoping would be able to help with that. And part of that, so the way that the funding works is actually we want that funding to be able to focus on the delivery team, people that are working, Marcus full-time, a project manager, ideally full-time, release manager part-time, UX lead, maybe more full-time up front, or at least half-time, maybe tapering off a bit later. So the money is to go to these people who are day-to-day trying to, move the issues forward and the code forward and getting releases out. So that gives you kind of an idea of that split. In addition, maybe it's the next slide.
I think maybe we can add to this one here. On top of this group of people, all of the companies that have committed to the Drupal AI initiative, they have all committed at least one full FTE, as a one FTE on top of what we are just seeing here. So there's from each of the companies that we probably have on the next slide. Oh, we have it on the next slide after that. We have in total already a team of maybe, we would say 15, 20 people who are already starting to collaborate together. And we are just trying to work on that, what Kristen said, to like that the issues are visible to you, where you also see who is doing what and how you can participate in it.
Yeah. So the team goes beyond this, and Paul's leading up there's Jamie, leading the marketing work, and we have a lot of UX folks that are working already. We've obviously got lots of developers that are moving forward as well. So, hey Jamie,
So
you want to say hi?
Where are you calling from? What country?
Hello everyone,
Yeah.
I'm from London. It's incredibly hot here at the moment. Crazy heat wave, which is not something we say that often. Very excited about this initiative.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. So then we have an advisory board that we are trying to form. That's something that is a little bit more related to the Drupal AI makers and correct?
Yeah, so for that one, so for those who are familiar with the Starshot / Drupal CMS, organization. They had an advisory council, and I was fortunate enough to be part of that, which was really useful. So this is somewhat similar to that in terms of having a board related to the initiative. This one will be focused on people who are makers, which we'll learn a little bit more about what that means from Dominic in a few minutes. But the goal, so we already have 6 makers, and those companies, yeah, those are the makers. Those companies each will have a seat on the board, along with Dries and members from the Drupal Association, and key members from the initiative will be, talking with the board and, providing updates and getting feedback and having that help drive the priorities of the initiative. So that should be formed in July. Just had a meeting with Dries and team right before this. And yeah, that's the plan, is hopefully by the end of July that'll be formed and people can start giving their feedback at that level. And I don't know, Jamie, you're here. Did you want to talk a little bit about our tracks? Some of our tracks.
Yeah, I don't know what has been covered, but I've been getting a lot in the Experience Builder AI track. So should I go into talk about that a bit?
You can tell us shortly about, so these are the first identified tracks. One of them is what you saw earlier, Paul telling us about the things that they've been doing on Drupal.org, which is the AI marketing track. And like Jamie, you've been very much involved in the Experience Builder AI track. And yeah, tell us a little bit, like, I think you are like the most advanced, maybe together with marketing. You were the furthest away, right?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about the Experience Builder AI track. I had this dream a long time ago, which I called Figma to Drupal. I've always felt with Drupal, it's so powerful when you get going with it, but the starting experience of making something that looks nice has always been very unpleasant. We just never had this massive collection of pretty themes that you could just use for anything. We tend to have base themes that make it easier to build them. So this dream of Figma to Drupal, I could just take any theme, something I've drawn, a screenshot, something in Photoshop, and just bring it into my Drupal site with AI. And we've been working on this for almost a year now with different versions. And we're getting really close to something that's quite cool that we can show off in demo. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we'll have something on Drupal Forge where you'll be able to click a button and then see these XP AI agents working, where you just describe, I want a website that sells shoes, and it will just create everything, create all the components for you, lay it all out, use images in your media library, etc. And because this is so powerful and so important, what we're finding is it's like a North Star for a lot of the other stuff on our roadmap. So everything that we're doing in AI core, everything to do with agents, to do with logging, testing, search, this use case of Experience Builder, which is very important to Drupal because it's about making pages. We have to do that a lot. We're finding it all fits into making that better. But when we can make an AI framework that can do a really good job with Experience Builder AI, we also find there's so many agents to do with accessibility, to do with brand stuff, to do with improving your content based around analytics, to do with other forms of automation that can come out of it very nicely and easily when we have this powerful framework that works well.
Nice. I think that was a great summary. So it all like will connect in some way, and so there's a lot of things to be done, and nothing can be done without having our core, releasable and like that we can all use it. Which brings us a little bit to how are we going to get this done? Maybe Dominic, we have, I think here, this slide. Because we already showed before that we have how many companies? 6 companies who are already Drupal AI makers. Maybe you want to tell us, firstly, like what does that mean, or why is that important to the initiative?
Yeah, thanks, buddy. So the AI initiative, you see, it's gotten a lot of traction, but to sustain that momentum and to scale it up and actually compete against other platforms, we feel combining volunteering contribution with professional contribution is the way to go. And that's what becoming a Drupal AI maker program is all about. So I'm basically speaking to all the CEOs out there of all the agencies, and if they're not here from your agencies, please talk to them about it, because we designed a program which gives these CEOs, these agencies, clear competitive advantages they can use in the market to win new projects, to transition the business into a new market. Like 2 weeks ago, for example, we were with the Drupal booth in London at the AI Summit, and we met a lot of decision makers, and there were none of our competitors. So we were bringing Drupal into a blue ocean. Basically, we were telling people, look, Drupal is a perfect mechanism to deploy agents in your digital experience and get a lot of ROI for your organization. And it resonated. And that's also one of the reasons why we became part of this program, is because we see that we can transition our business from a traditional web solution business into an AI-powered web solution business. And with Drupal, we can do that in all freedom. And the Makers program is designed to give the businesses clear advantages. So if I may, I can drop my link to my calendar. You can send it to your CEOs, or if CEOs are in the meeting, please book meeting with me, and I can guide you through the program.
Nice. So thank you, Dominic. I think this is crucial that we also get the funding in, so that we can move it also a little bit faster and make sure our people can work on this 100%. Great summary. Book a meeting. But like now I'm really excited about it. I'm listening to this for 30 minutes now, and like, how can I now participate? Where's the issue that I can work on, or what should I do? So I think that's probably the next part, who we have a couple of slides for. So let's start. Kristen, or Paul, like, we have all these links.
Yeah, I'll give a little bit and then maybe Paul can take over. But so I think important space is Slack. We have a lot of organization happening on Slack. And one question that we've heard is like, well, which Slack channel? So if you have questions more generally about the AI initiative, how we're organized, how to be involved in the initiative, maybe more on the strategy level or that kind of thing, then join the AI initiative channel and ask things there. If you're more like, yeah, I'm just ready to contribute and I'm, helping out with a particular module, then we've got the contrib channel for that. General AI questions, just, any kind of AI, discussions that are just broad in general can happen in AI. And also what happens in that channel is also if you're trying to build something with AI with the existing modules, you're not really sure, like, wait, should I be using this or using that? So a little bit of kind of AI support also happens in that channel. And then we've got the new market, well, it's not a new channel, but newly public marketing channel that Paul is heading up. So that's a great space to be involved in promoting the AI work. And then we have also a newly public UX channel where that evolved from specifically the UX work that was happening in the experience builder space, and now we're broadening that to be more of a general UX channel. So if you're interested in UX, that would be a good one to join. The only other one I'll mention now would be the documentation. If you're on the, so if you're a developer, you probably already know about the documentation, but Marcus and team have a very extensive documentation on the AI module. And with that, I will hand it over to Paul to talk through some of the other ones.
Thank you. And the URL is wrong. I've put the right one in the chat and I've updated the slides. So the Academy is a place where anyone can go to learn more about Drupal AI. There already is a webinar series in partnership with the European Commission that's running over the next few months. As they run, we will add the recordings to them so that anyone can follow on and catch up. And there's also some training for both site builders and developers. And there's also opportunities to have workshops. So if you've got clients that are struggling to understand how they might use AI, there's opportunities to collaborate with organizations that are running the AI initiative there. And yeah, we're very interested in anybody else that is running those kinds of upskilling opportunities so that more and more people can onboard onto Drupal AI. The blog, what we're looking to do is to obviously make major announcements, but also have these like incremental updates so that everyone is well aware of what's going on in Drupal AI. And we've already started that rhythm. Expect two updates a week at least. And if there's any more webinars or any ways for you to get updates, we'll be announcing it primarily there. And then we have launched a LinkedIn account. So that will probably be our primary news channel for the wider audience. So yeah, we'll be, as I've said earlier, focusing on speaking to the end customer in those situations. All of these links, all these links are in the initiative home, that one link that I've just put in the chat. So the top left-hand one, if you go there, you'll find all these links, so you don't have to worry about getting them there.
Yeah, and that's so we have the drupal.org/AI page, which is more of a outward facing, and then going more into the internal facing. How can I participate? Where can I, where do I find things? That would be under the typical initiative page on drupal.org. Then yeah, so let's just. Sorry for my drawing, but I think it is so much fun to use the drawing. So I feel like a teacher or something, like drawing. Tell us, who wants to tell us about the European Commission webinars? So I think, Jamie, there's been a lot going on with the European Commission. There was a hackathon, and now there's a webinar. Why? Like, why is the European Commission so excited about it?
Yeah, so really soon after Barcelona, European Commission held their first hackathon in October, and it was so fun. It was so exciting. Like there was half working on some other technology that was not Drupal, and it was half working on Drupal-based technology and building out. There was a Seek Editor assistant. They had these tasks, and people the Drupal people they just built so much stuff so quickly. They achieved all their goals, made loads of these extra ideas. And since then, we've improved that particular framework to make it even easier to do the things that they were doing. You'd be able to create like in the 6 hours they had, a lot of the teams created a good 7 or 8 use cases, and I think you'd be able to do 5 times that quite easily. And so that was really exciting. And so the European Commission are going to have another hackathon in January next year. But on the run up to that, it's not European Commission specific. It's open to everyone. So it's live streamed on YouTube. So when you go to the Academy, you can get updates about it. But we have a series of talks to get people knowing the core things you need to do. So the next hackathon, the hope is that everyone will go in knowing the basics of how to get things set up, how to create and build agents, how to do AI search, how to develop for them. And we're really aiming it at, some of them are mainly aimed at developers, but a lot of them are aimed at like more site builders. I mentioned a lot, I'm not a programmer myself, and so everything I've done with AI, I want to be able to use. And so we've tried to build things in a way that the analysts, the PMs, and even content editors can make use of. And these talks will help with that.
Nice. And yeah, it's nice that you say it, Jamie. You know, you always repeat it, like, I'm not a developer. And Jamie is also setting up tools and making things like using AI and actually building some really cool stuff for us to help us to organize ourselves, collect issues from Drupal.org to understand who is going to be working on what. So that's hopefully going to be something that we can show also very soon. Yeah, then there is the workflows of AI.com, who is Marcus's basically, if I heard it correctly, like what's going on in his brain, and then he dumps it out there to, is that correct, Jamie, right? It's like
Yes.
his
Yeah.
playground.
So he created the module, which is now in the AI module called Automators, which is a really powerful tool for creating AI applications or features. And if you go to Workflows of AI, when he makes something and tests it, he actually shows you the whole end-to-end process of going to Drupal.org, downloading all the modules, setting them all up from scratch, and then shows you everything he does to create these things.
Nice.
They're getting really wild with what you can do with MCP and agents now. It's like even more complicated things are even faster. And Jürgen's working with us from ECA to make it yet again easier. And he just throws these videos out on workflows.ai. So it's a really good place to get started with what you can build as a developer and get an idea of what can come as recipes in Drupal CMS and more as a product, because we can package a lot of these things. And then we are working on making it easier to trial them. So Marcus has started working on with a bunch of different hosts, including Amazy and Drupal Forge, to be able to turn these into recipes, which will go on Drupal.org. You can get them anywhere, but you'll also be able to click a button and then try out a demo that has all of this stuff working. So I really recommend Workflows of AI as a place to see what's possible.
Yeah. All right, but then we also have Amazy.io Try Drupal. So you can also go here, and there's like also different ways to test things that have been built. So go to amazy.io/try-drupal.ai and look at that. I know that like Jamie needs to jump off. Thank you, Jamie. I know that you had to go 1:45. So if you have to jump up, we know why, or we know that you had to. And then not just testing out things on Amazy, but Drupal Forge. I see that we also have Darren here, I think, listening in and been writing in the chat. Drupal Forge has also been providing a demo of like Drupal AI, and it's really easy to spin it up and just go in there, check it out, play with it, give them feedback. All of those companies who are actually providing these demos, they also need to get the feedback from you of how it is to how easy did you feel like it was to use it, and so the link is there, drupalforce.org/template/Drupal CMS AI demo. Check that out. And then we have the Q&A. We already have some questions. Thank you for asking questions. And I think like there have been tries to also answer some of them. And if I just look at the ones that are answered, then you should be able to see them as well. The first one was Matthew, of course, just saying hi, because we were testing the chat. Sanjeev Kumar asks, how can I contribute? We are going to be having more webinars and information also about where are the issues that everyone can start working on, because we need all of your contributions, and so we are just finalizing that now. How can we create those issues, make sure that that we have dev, we have like developer things that you can spin up, that we have like the demo where you can try out things. So Paul already sent an answer there about just start to listen in, follow the chat, look at the issues, and then you will hopefully see very soon how you can participate. Barka asked about the Drupal Marketplace initiative. Is this completely separate? Yes, it is completely separate. Of course, everything is somehow related. I hope there is going to be some site templates in the marketplace that will use Drupal AI, just like they should use Drupal CMS. All of those initiatives are separate initiatives, but they are still very connected. And we are, for example, collaborating a lot with the Drupal CMS team. And Kristin's job, one of her things that she is focusing on is actually to making sure that we are aligning always with Drupal CMS, but with the marketplace, less. Then was an anonymous attendee asking or saying that the pay-to-play model, which will request resources at levels that are only possible for large agencies. FTE and cash requirement are very high, which is slamming in the door in the face of smaller, passionate agencies. Does that matter at all to us? So answer is it does. We do need to, and we want to see how we can involve any type of companies. We understand that the current model that we have today is the larger one, but we are trying to figure out a way how we can also create some models, and maybe Dominic, you want to answer on that as well. How can we have some models that can help also other Drupal AI makers that are already actively contributing to also be part of that? And Dominic, if you want to add something to it, feel free.
Yeah, so the combination, as I said before, lies in what we think the professional contribution, the sponsored contribution, where we do have the commitment. When the money is coming in, we can actually hire someone and keep that person or multiple persons, as Kristen showed. It's multiple people that get sponsored on the project. So the money component is definitely a thing, but with the smaller agencies and the volunteering contrib, that can still continue in the regular contrib. The advantages that we are creating in the makers program for companies sponsoring them it's on the commercial side. It's on promoting products and services. It's on the level of the packaging. I'm not gonna go too much into detail. I would say send me an email, reach out, and then we can go into detail. But we're actively looking in how we can unify this, but still give tangible advantages if an organization is sponsoring an FTE and 20K every 6 months. That's 100K or more a year, depending on which region you are in. The big part is the FTE, so that's regionalized. But the money is, it is what it is at the moment.
So really encouraged, if you want to know more, the person who put in that comment, I think we also need your feedback. Again, we are just launching this here. We had 90 contributors to their last Drupal AI release, coming from, I think, 40 different organizations. We want to hear from all of those organizations. We want to understand why they are contributing. Sometimes it is just the person who is working at the agency that just wants to, or at the company that just is doing this in the volunteering time. But sometimes people are actually doing it because there is some kind of a need from the agency or the company to work on that. So just connect to us. I think I would like to just jump a little bit into, I want to wait with the 2 questions that have been answered there. I want to go to the open answers because I'm just a little bit thinking about time. There was also an anonymous question. Why are the Drupal AI strategy documents authored without attribution to authors? Very great point. I think if I understand you correctly, why are we not giving attribution to the people who actually were the ones that wrote it? I hope that I'm understanding it correctly. I'm not a native English speaker, right? Kristen? Paul? Am I understanding it correctly? Why?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah,
You mean, oh, so the strategy document itself, the PDF
yeah,
that is,
probably.
oh, there was a lot of a lot of us that contributed to that. So I don't know. I mean, is
There was like at some point we had a list of like putting in your name and stuff like that. And then we had, of course, everybody in this team. Then we had, of course, people from the Drupal CMS leadership team. Then we had the Drupal AI.
could easily be 20 people that helped, you know.
Yeah, but I will take that as a. I will take that as actually as, hey, let's create an issue and just at least credit those people who we know, remember, and we can go into the history of the document of the hundreds of versions we had of it. So let's do that, and maybe people can also see, you know, who were and really big applause to Dries here. He was the one that really was leading a lot of the contribution to that document. He was very actively involved. Okay, we have here David Huang. Hi, long time not seen, or a long time I've seen you. How can we help users from being overwhelmed or anxious about choosing wrong or picking a technology that quickly falls out of favor due to the rapid change, or an approach that doesn't stand the test of time? Great question. I think if I can speak a little bit for Jamie, I don't know if Jamie can speak, but Jamie has often said it, things change so quickly, right, Jamie?
Yeah,
That
well,
it's
I was going to
scary.
say, yeah, I was going to say the abstraction layer that we have in the AI module is partly to help with that, which is that like if there are new technologies that come along, you can swap them out. So if there's new models, you can swap them out. But we call it the AI provider module, not LLM, because it covers more technologies than just pure LLMs. There's other things to do with like vector databases, embeddings, but the freedom and flexibility to swap things out, but your application you build on top of it still works, has been very important to us to try and reduce being overwhelmed. Because if you just use it, you know, you'll be able to change your mind later if there's something comes along that is better or different in some way.
Yeah, and maybe towards you know, talking about a little bit governance, auditing, logging, testing, you know, there's been a lot of things flying around of like, how can I also understand if I'm using another provider, then is it still working the same way? So maybe that helps a little bit those who need to make those decisions. So great question, David, and I don't think we really have an answer to that now because we are all struggling with the same question. Rajab, will AI be moved to Drupal core to manage the? Oh, Jamie already answered that now. To manage the transitional zone between order and disorder. So, Jamie, I think you wrote like it would be unlikely that it's gonna be moved into Drupal core.
Yeah, I think the most of the stuff we're doing in the AI module exists quite nicely in Contrib. It's more likely that AI will motivate some changes to core to do with like its documentation, the way actions work, the kind of more underlying way that core talks to itself, maybe some ways it handles logging. There's some things that might be beneficial to be architected slightly differently. Usually the thing that is good for AI also helps with the developer experience. It's all about having clearer documentation all in the same place, things behaving in a predictable manner. And so things like that might go into core, especially to do with MCP. I think MCP related things may find a good place, or things to help make MCP more effective might find a place in core. But I don't think AI itself necessarily needs to be there. It's working quite nicely in, outside of core.
Okay, nice. I hope that we are answering your questions. Feel free to put it in the chat if you feel like that the answers are not enough. Amber Mats wrote, is there a workaround AI-powered migration from one layout system to Experience Builder? For example, static HTML, CSS layout to XP or layout builder to XP? Great question. I'm going to put that one over to Chris.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. So a little bit on the layout builder to experience builder. Rather than focusing on AI assisted migration of that at the moment, what's being worked on is actually using layout builder layouts and blocks within experience builder, so you don't have to rebuild everything. So that's moving along. And then so similarly on the paragraphs front, there is a proof of concept where Sasha has been trying to create an integration so that you could actually use paragraphs within Experience Builder as well. So while there may be use cases where doing a migration from those technologies into Experience Builder might make sense, the first plan of action is to actually be able to support using them with an Experience Builder, because there is a plugin system to be able to do that. Have different sources, and similar to the way that blocks are pulled in and other things right now, or design system components. So that's the first line. At some point, yeah, I think when Experience Builder is a little bit more baked, and then we can see like where are the cases where we would want to do a migration. So that was layout builder. There was one other thing that was mentioned there.
Just static HTML, CSS layout.
Oh, static stuff.
Yeah.
So I think with that, I think we will be using the AI tools to do that with the workflows that we're talking about, of being able to take a snapshot of something and then having AI build that within Experience Builder. Unless I'm misunderstanding what they mean by using
No.
a yeah, okay.
I think this is fine. Jamie also and Duncan also answered something in there. I wanted to confirm, do you all see Paul Johnson was just putting in I'm a little bit afraid of that maybe we are just sending that to the host and panelist, and that's not going out to the attendees, these extra links that we are sending out. Maybe asking Matthew again if you're still here, or anyone. Are you seeing what Paul Johnson was just sending into the chat?
It does say to host and panelist, yeah. Okay.
You don't see it. Oh, too bad. We've been sending like a lot of stuff in there. Okay, let's make sure that we collect this stuff so we can actually put it into the AI initiative channel. I see that it's probably some permission thing, because I can only send to host and panelist and to the panelist. I cannot send to attendees. So very sorry for that. We've been dropping a couple of like, Dominic put his calendar in there.
Actually, yeah.
Let's put that into the AI initiative afterwards, but it's fine. We figured that out. We also had the next question was again from anonymous attendee. Okay, a call to action was issued with the Drupal CMS initiative. We've been dedicated time, code, and resources to the AI initiative, but now the rug has been pulled out from under us, and the spirit of Drupal has died in the interest of creating a market advantage for a limited few. This pay-to-play model and proposed gatekeeping of code is a new pattern for Drupal and poisons the well. Why would the community continue to contribute only to the locked out of outcomes? I certainly hope that we can turn this vision around, because it is not about creating market advantage for a limited few, apart from the fact of like, if you are part of the Drupal AI makers, you are just involved, and that is what is bringing you market advantage. I can tell it from my company. We don't have a clue what's going on in this Drupal AI ecosystem, because there's so much happening, but just now by involving ourselves very actively, we actually do get a lot of information, like we understand who is working on, and that is our goal here. Again, really encourage you to reach out to any one of us if you just want to have a chat on Drupal Slack. Happy to talk it through, how you feel about it, and also like what we can do actually to help to change that perception. So thank you for giving us that feedback. That's also very valuable to us. I think I covered all of the questions. We are also exactly at time. I really think that this is really great participation. We had a lot of people attending. Thank you also to the others in the panel. Most important, we are here to listen to your feedback. We want to hear from you what you are doing. So reach out and follow up on like those pages to see what's going on. And thank you, Lenny, for organizing this webinar and the
Very
Drupal
happy to
Association.
help. Very happy to help, and indeed, just like to second what you just said, Buddy. Please stay tuned for the upcoming webinars and upcoming news. We will try to keep you closely posted on the progress that initiative is making. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.